Y'all probably get tired of me playing the same songs over and over and over. I'm like a broken record. But last night I was playing some of that. What's his name? Ed Sheeran or whatever his name was. So I was trying out some new stuff. I've always been, and I think I've told you this before. You can't listen to just all the old songs because those songs are already ingrained in our head. You got to listen to new songs too to keep the brain fresh, right? Because music is a powerful, powerful thing. So that's why I listen to the new stuff, like that cheerleader song that I like, and I listen to all the stuff that my kids listen to too. So it's good and keeps your brain fresh. It's like playing chess. And if y'all have not signed up on chess.com app on your phone, you need to so you can play me in chess. Except I snapped at Beth last night because she was talking to me while I was in a match, and I destroyed somebody from I don't know where they were from, but I destroyed them. Now most of the time I get destroyed because those people are good on there. But the good thing is on the chess.com app, it matches you with people who are at your level. So you get like a numerical ranking. The higher the number, the better you are. So like grandmasters are what 22,000 or so, and what is Sweet Bobby? Sweet Bobby's like 300. I'm barely cracking 300. I'm horrible, but I'm trying to get better. So got to keep that mind alive, right? We got to think about things, and we do that in trading as well. And that's why you never want to say, man, this is my strategy for life. I'm going to do this. I want y'all to really be portfolio managers of your own little personal hedge fund, whether you ever manage someone else's money or you just doing your own. And I want y'all to be able to do that and have so many arrows in your quiver that you can whip out anything at any time. So good stuff. And Dwayne is going to be cooking salmon today. That sounds so good. Ruby Tuesday sent us to buy one get one free Wednesday coupon. I told Beth, I said after class, why don't we go to Ruby Tuesdays and get the garden bar? I just love that so much, and I'm so grateful for the opportunities that I have now to be at home with my family all the time and not have to worry about Atlanta traffic. You don't have to worry about so many things. And it's just nice, you know. You wake up and you're just grateful for the blessings that the Lord's given you. And you wake up every morning and you breathe deep and say, hey, thank you. And it's a tough time right now in our community. We've got a lady who's 49 years old, goes to my mother's church, and she's on a vent with COVID, battling for her life. And they transferred her to Emory Hospital yesterday. So y'all pray for her and our community. I don't know what's going on in y'all's town, but COVID has struck again here. So I'm fully vaccinated. Does that matter? I don't know, but it's a strange time that's going on. So we got to savor each and every day, don't we? And we never know. You're 51 years old. The next thing you know, you're on a vent. Life can happen really, really bad. And as I told you, I posted on Facebook several years ago that, oh man, this is the worst day ever because my car, all the way from Birmingham back to Georgia, the radiator was leaking and my car was overheating. And so I would have to stop at every exit on the way home, let my car cool off, and I would pour water in it to get it cooled down. And I'd have to wait. And it took me, I don't know, 6 hours maybe to get from home from Birmingham, where it normally takes two. And I posted on Facebook, it was the worst day ever. And then the next day, it's when I had my rollover accident, and I was in a wheelchair for 6 months in a hospital 51 days. So I said I'd never do that again. So I'll never say this is the worst day ever. It's a good day to be alive. Like my mama says, she says, Bubba, life is good. It really, really is. So let's look at our little bitty trade and just see what's, or not trade, but let's look at the market and just kind of see what's going on here. Um, this is the cash open. Y'all all have this chart now. This blue line is the overnight high. The overnight low is here. and we hadn't tagged that yet, right? What's the orange line? Beats the crap out of me. It's some pivot point or something. Yellow line is VWAP, right? And you see now that we didn't test the low. We are still in the fair value range. We do see our little green monster poking its head in through there. So right now there was a fractal here, which kind of oftentimes will tell you that there's kind of a reversal. You see our big alligator crossed over here and the alligator started eating, right? Alligator got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you're ever scalping, you kind of start scalping at this point where it looks like things are about to flip over. So you go short, especially once you crack, you see the alligator here and you crack through VWAP. Because sometimes you would expect VWAP to be support there, right? And it went on through VWAP. Now what's price doing? Price is going back to VWAP. Now I would expect VWAP, value weighted average price, to be not support but resistance. So you kind of play with that and you kind of look and see what's going on. You see that AD, the current bar is green. The one before it was green, the one before it was red, and the one before it's green. So it's going back in an upward little thing here. So if you ever do, get into a position where you want to scalp or you want to do something like that, do not do it with the E-minis, right? Don't do it with the E-minis. That's too big a contract, takes up too much buying power to do two contracts with the E-minis. What you would do is use this same chart and do it on the micros. And what I do is I have, if you're ever going to do that, when we get together, we may do that. Let's see. And we are going to get together. We just got to work out details, don't we? Let's see. ES trading with Dome or Dom. You can call it Dome. I've heard it both. So here's what happens when I'm actually scalping. Then I bring the Dome in, right? So then this looks different, but it's the same exact chart. It's just not, let's see. It's just not zoomed in. Let's go zoom in. Let me zoom out one. There. Oops. Let me change this to my little hand. Quick. So my little hand. Hold on one second. Let's go hand. I say let's go hand. All right, here we go. Dwayne's making the salmon today, and Stacy's got to leave early because of the grandbaby is at home. Oh man, girl, I don't blame you. I'd get the heck out of Dodge, spend time with my grandbaby. Especially now, I don't know what you got set up, Stacy, but I'm looking at my account and I'm like, wow, this is just great. I'm not having to do a daily trade if I don't want to. I'm just sitting back, doing my little thing, having fun. So here's the way I would do it, right? Now change that quantity to 2. And then, I sell on this side, buy on this side. I think I have orders. Let's see. It's been so long since I've scalped the micros. Let's see. Template, single, template. I think I got some one cancel orders up. Oh, here we go. Oh, man. Let's see. NQ. What did I have with NQ? Normally, here we go. I had my orders all set up, right, so that I could buy and sell and do kind of stuff and scalp. So, but I'm not going to scalp now. But I'll show you all that one day. I mean, I think we've done it before live, and of course, I probably lost $50 or more doing it, but because I'm horrible at it. Isn't it neat though? This is a pivot point of some sort. I have pivot points on my chart. Look, fractals developed. Fractal developed. This was resistance. Turn around a little bit. And the cool thing is if you are scalping the Micros, it's $5 a point, right? So you get, 10 points, you got $50. If you could get 10 points, generally in lunchtime, you don't get that. The best scalping time is, the open of the market after the first, I'd wait the 30 minutes and then start it. And I would try to always be finished by about 11:30 Eastern time. Because what generally happens during this time, the time that you and I are together, it's what we call lunchtime chop. These things just chop around. So let's check out our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful volume profile and just see how things are looking. Well, I'll be dang. Look at this. The high was, guess where? Guess where? Here. And then what happened to price? It goes back down to the 50% line, doesn't it? Right here. And check that out. I mean, isn't it amazing how, look, we see that there was a little bit of support right at the 50% line. It's just so cool to see how this thing works, isn't it? And so now price is below the 20 exponential moving average. It is, um, let's say, so it's above the 50, below the 20, and now above the 200. Now, we're never surprised ever to see a move back to the point of control. This is point of control. And this is volume. All these little blue bars are volume. And this is where volume has traded the most during the last 10 days in a 30-minute chart. This is where it is. So it wouldn't surprise us to see a pullback to here. So keep in mind the volume profile here. This is volume traded at a price. Well, what are monkey bars? Let's make sure we understand what the monkey bars are. Because I never worked with monkey bars till Blake taught me how to do this. So monkey bars, let's see, this side is volume at price. This side of our monkey bars, this is volume. This is the volume profile we were just looking at. This over here is time at price. So this is the amount of time that price has that was spent at a particular price. So you see this green point of control, that means the most hours and days of the month were spent at this 421 area. Okay, so it's different than volume profile. This is the volume that's traded, the number of shares traded at a certain price. Sometimes these two are the same, right? Area, but not always. So this is volume profile, and this is what we call market profile. If you ever hear people talking to market profile and you say, what the crap is that? Well, that's what we do with the big green monster. It's exactly what we do with the big green monster. So this is the amount of time spent at each one of these prices. And then we draw the levels and project onto the next month. And it really, really works really, really well. Let's go back to our volume profile. I say, let's go back to our volume profile. So I had my kids watching Bugs Bunny the other day. And it was the Bugs Bunny where, do y'all remember the Bugs Bunny episode where the little penguin that was a dancing penguin, or he would get on skates or something, and Bugs Bunny um, had to try to get him back to the South Pole. So my kids were watching that, and they were like, "Who's this? Who's the rabbit, Daddy?" I said, "The rabbit is Bugs Bunny." And they said, "He's mean." I said, "He's mean." And the cool thing is, man, I mean, Bugs Bunny, they were smacking each other. They were, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, my kids they're thinking that Bugs Bunny is mean." And I used to think Bugs Bunny was the stuff. And I thought, can you imagine if I turned on Roadrunner and the Coyote, Wile Coyote? I said, can you imagine what they think about old Wile Coyote trying to blow up the Roadrunner? And now you can't watch that because it's so, I mean, my kids were like, what is this? And I saw, and then there's Daffy Duck, in the swimming pool smoking a cigar and drinking whiskey. It is amazing though that we watched all that, and we were not as violent as kids are today. So it's a strange thing. All right, so we got Spy here. We know what Spy's doing. It has bounced off of that. Where's it going? Well, it may be going back here, or it may be going back here. And one of the things that we talked about the other day, we've never really done it. Oh, let me show you one more thing. Let me show you one more thing. Let's see if I know how to do this. Let's see if I scroll a little bit. There we go. Let's make this big. Let me get my hand. See if I can remember how to do this. See if I can remember how to do this. All right. So we see this candle here, right? Let me blow it up one more time. Let's get it really big, because I'm about to blow your mind. Y'all gonna say, what kind of foolishness is this? Now, you see this big old candle? Okay, now watch this. You see this candle, right? Let's change this to our Fibonacci extension. You remember the Fibonacci extension that you and I have messed with to where it's not really a Fibonacci extension anymore? So on a bearish candle, you start here from the bottom of the body, then you go to the top of the body, then you go to the top of the wick. There. Oh, there. All right. Now, so if you've not changed your Fibonacci extensions to our levels, then it's not going to look like this. So if you're using the Fibonacci extension, the default that is shared, in Thinkorswim, you're not going to have this. But I think most of you, by drawing the green monsters, have changed it to the 50s and the 100s and the 200s. So let me just show you something that's really, really cool. So this is another Blake thing, right? This is another Blake Young thing. So what you do is, if you're scalping, for example, SPY or ES or whatever you're doing, right? You draw from, on the bearish candle, this is a bearish candle, you draw from the bottom of the body to the top of the body, then to the wick. And then we wait for a candle to penetrate past the zero line. Once it passes the zero line, you get bullish with a target of the 100%. So if you were like scalping shares or whatever, it's kind of hard to scalp SPY, but let's say this was a future that we're doing, okay? The micro futures. What you would do is you would go long 2 contracts here, right? Then you would potentially take off risk of one of them when it gets to the 100% line. But here's where your target is, the 100% line. So I'm looking within the next 3 30-minute bars that price is going to go to the 100% line here, and potentially to the 200%. So once it goes to the 100%, what you would do is take risk off. What does risk off mean? That means you close one contract and then you place a stop where you initially went in, so that this cannot be a losing trade. You guarantee to make a profit on it. Now, I'm probably not explaining that good at all, but so that's how that works. So and we're pretending. So we've got nice long bars here. We're pretending this is a future, because you can't really scalp. I mean, you could, I guess, by buying shares and selling shares, but we don't do that. But pretend this is the micros, and we're just looking at bars here. Now, let's see how this thing works on a bullish candle. This was a bullish candle, so let's take this off and see how it worked. So I'll right click, we'll remove this. All right, so bullish candle. You're going to start at the top of the body. Everybody sees the body of the candle, right? Start at the top. You go down. I'm making sure it was working. You go down here to the bottom of the body, and you go down to the bottom of the wick. All right. So you've got that candle. So what you do is then you would go short 2 contracts of, we're pretending it's MES, right? Go short 2 contracts of MES. Take risk off when it gets down to the 100. So you close one contract, and then you would let the other one fly, baby. And you could close it at 200 if you thought it was going to back. You could let it go, and potentially to the 400, which it did. So this setup worked really, 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 really good. So I hope everybody sees that. It's just a fun little thing to do. It's something. This is another Blake thing. I didn't come up with this. Do I use it a lot? No, but I thought I'd show it to you. I try to show y'all everything that I possibly know. So if you're ever in the, well, let's just see. Let's do it on ES. Now, what you would do also is draw your green monster on MES, right? So let's see. Let's get in a little bit. I hate that being there, and it used to not be there. We don't care that it's 83 degrees and mostly cloudy in the beautiful little city of Bowden, Georgia. So let's see. Let's zoom in a little bit. Here we go. And let me move my hand where I can move my little chart over here. So on a bearish candle, which this was, then you're going to draw it upward, right? So you would draw it, go to your retracement tool. Where's my retracement tool? And you draw it from the bottom to the top to there. And then you go bullish. Now you'll be bullish, right? Expecting this to go to the 100 within the next 3 bars. So 1 bar, you expect it to make that target within the next 3 bars. If it doesn't make it in the next 3 bars, 1 bar, 30-minute bar, another 30-minute bar, another bar, then what do? You shut it down. You shut it down. And you got to depend on what time frame you want to do it on. Whether he does it on the 30 minutes. You know, when I was scalping, I do things on the 2-minute chart. Will it work on a 2-minute chart? Yeah. But I think it really works nice on this 30-minute chart. So you draw that up. Where's the target? Here's your price target right here. Once it hits there, what do? You close one contract, and so you can have this over here going, and on another screen you got your little DOM going, and you're scalping, and you're doing all kind of things. So this is a what I would consider a conservative way of doing it, because again, with Blake's stuff, the Big Green Monster, which he doesn't call it Big Green Monster, that's our little name for it. But this stuff works really, really well. Now, why does it work? I don't know. But you can see this is, what do they say? An engulfing, your internet connection is unstable. We don't like that. But this does work really, really well if you're ever going to be scalping on one of the futures. Cool stuff. All right, so let's look at our ES volume profile. I think what I need to do is, what's wrong with this thing? Network issue. We can't. Okay, we got you. Network issue on. Leave that alone. So let me take this drawing off so we can just see what's happening today. All right. So ES is in the fair value range. Nothing wrong with that. We may see a pullback down to this area at some point. We don't know. We would not be shocked if we go down to the point of control on the volume profile. We are not as bullish today as we were yesterday, right? Not bullish at all. But at the same time, Market's up 6.25 points today. It's up 0.15. I think I'm going to wait on selling a micro today because I still think I can sell a micro. So let's go to the Analyze tab. Now, I didn't restart Thinkorswim today. I probably should have. Let's see what we look like today. Hide simulations. Let me go show all. Let's just mix this thing up a little bit. Show all. Hide simulations. I probably should have started it over. Space trip trade. Let's look at it. Single. Rick, is Rick still here? Yeah, grandbabies, they are the best. Hey, Rick, are you still here? I don't hear Rick. Let me change this to expiration, 1 expiration, so we can see our little thingy here. Now you say, oh boy, Bobby, you've got a nice little hump built up there, right? Nice little perfect hump. No, we don't. You got to always check this date here and go to today. Now by September 15th, we're going to have a nice little hump. Look at there. We could be up $2,500 on the space trip trade. So let's go.
Can we look at some of the micros a little bit later?
Yeah, what do you want to do in the micro? You want to look at micros on maybe doing a space trip trade?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, not that I'm necessarily going to do it, but
yeah, let's look at it and see if we
just
can
curious.
do it. Because well, that's a very good question, Matt, because we hadn't even talked about, well, I mean, we talked about it's probably possible, but we hadn't figured it out yet, have we? So let's see if we can. We'll just work through it and see if we can do it in the micros. All right, so I've got short 1 micro here. Now the problem, with the macros, and hopefully
that's what I saw yesterday was that there was no 90 to 120.
Yeah, there's no 90 to 120. So I'd probably believe, I don't know. I'd probably go out to the 156 days. Let's just look and see if we can do it. All right. See if we can remember what we're doing here. All right. So he generally went for a. Now, the cool thing is to see how the prices work on this thing, right? So he was going out to about a 10 delta and going 50 wide, right? So let's see, 34.50. We could sell the 34.50. Let's see what this looks like. Sell the 34.50 and buy the 3400. $475. But here's the thing though, with who knows if the pricing is going to be, the same or not the same on this. So let's try 10 of these. Selling 10 of these. All right, 375 credit, probably not bad. 10 of those. All right, and then price is at 43.69. So we go down here to add the money, and we can right click, and we go buy a straddle. And the straddle, God, it's going to be interesting to see if this works the same way on the micros. Straddle is 372, right? That's what it will cost you, 372. So then we take 43.69. I hope I live long enough to have grandbabies. That's the thing. My youngest is 5 years old. I'm trying to think. I wonder if I'll ever see a grandkid from her. Hopefully not. No time soon anyway. Jeez Louise. So you take the current price and you subtract the price of the straddle. Minus 373. What does that get us at? 3996. So right at 4,000, right? All right, so then, hold on a second. Hold on, your tools. All right. So now we'll go back and grab our original short 10 deltas. Let's see, 10 deltas, what do we say, 3,500? And you could do the 3450, 3,400. Let's look at that. 3,450. So if we sell 3,450 and then buy the 3,400, let's see what that looks like. Is that where I was before? Must have been. 3,450. Let's say selling 3,450, buying the 3,400. Right, let's move that up to 10. All right, and then we said the one standard deviation down will be right at the 4,000. So let's see if we can see if we can find that. 4,000. 4,000 right there. So, really you could go down, you should go down probably the 30. Now, the cool thing here is we don't have 25 wide strikes. So we could go down one below that, the 39.90, and do 30 wide, right? So we would buy, and you got to hold your control down, hold your control key down. So we'll buy that little puppy there. So we bought the 39.90 and we go 30 wide. So that would be selling the 39.60. All right. All right. So then how many of these puppies do we need? Let's see. I'm watching price over here, right? Just watching price. If you're putting it on bearish, you want it to be a slight debit, right? So maybe something like that, a 10.7. Then to really check it out, you right click on it, you can analyze the trade. So let's analyze that little puppy, see what she looks like. You're like, oh, there's nothing there. That's because we've got simulations hid. So we'll go hide positions. There we go. Hey, little girl. All right, let's move this inward so we can pull it out. See what she looks like. See if we got our little submarine thingy going on. And we do. Fill up, fill out, fill out. Stupid thing. Stupid Thinkorswim. I know it's not Thinkorswim. It's probably my computer resources. I'll get another one day, I promise. Hey, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Uh-oh, we've already got a profit hump. No, we don't. We got to go to today, don't we? Go to today. No, we don't have a profit hump. Now then, let's look at our price slices. You have negative deltas. It's pretty much flat. You got a little bit of theta. You got a little bit of negative vega. $115 for buying power. And the cool thing is, what's the maximum profit on this thing? $1,045. $1,045. Isn't that cool? So now let's act like we were going to route the trade, right? At $1 debit. Let's talk about let's look at it. Look at there, Matt. It's going to cost you $54.98 to put that trade on. Zero buying power. Maximum profit is $1,045. Says a maximum loss of $1,400. And let me tell you the way that I was putting these things on that worked really, really well. Now the key is my portfolio is already largely positive deltas in it, so I don't mind having this negative delta. But when I was doing these, what I was doing is putting these on for credit, right? I was putting these things on for credit that had a little positive delta on them, so that that would still be negative 10. So I would go maybe 5 of those. Let's see. We did them at 5.
You have your price locked.
Yep, got my price locked. Thanks, Rick, so much. Yeah, there you go. There we go. So yeah, let's put it back to 6. See what that did. See here, if you put it on for 6, then if it goes up here, you got a $10 profit, regardless of how far it goes up. If you did 5, what I was doing is putting these things on in the E-minis, and I think I was doing a upper expiration line. See, this one's got 3750, right? So if it just keeps running, you know, you're going to have a profit, but this will still build up, just not as quickly if you've got positive deltas on it. But those were working really, really well, and I just like putting things on for a credit. But since I've got so many positive deltas now with the BAME, AIM, whatever we're doing, then I don't mind having the negative deltas on this and spending a debit to do it. So yeah, you can. We found out we can create the same exact structure here, right? It's just much smaller, and for a smaller account, I think this is certainly you could definitely be involved in this, right? So let's put that back up to 7. What do we say it would take you? So that's going to dollars, so that'd be 50. Let's see, confirm and send. It would take you $54.98. And look, here's the terrible part. It's only $5, right, for the trade. The bad part is the commissions on this thing, and that's why they came up with, well, what if we don't do as many of these and we do a butterfly instead? We do a butterfly instead. Well, can you and I construct a butterfly? Well, I guess we could. But how do we do it, right? Well, I guess if we were going to do it, we would want our loan put to be in the same place here, right? So around in that same place. So around the 4,010, we could put our long strikes. Well, where would you put your short strikes? Hold on a minute. Where's a pen? My kids take all my pens. Rick's my guy with the good memory. Remember, 4,010. Let's see if we can construct one, a butterfly. 4,010, if we put our long there, you know, you put your short maybe about in the middle of this, which would be the 3,700. 3,700 shorts. All right. And then what you would do is your bottom one, you know, say you were at the 34.30 or so. You could move that bottom leg of a butterfly. So let's try to do something similar. So let's just look at this. Maximum profit 1,053, short deltas of that. Why don't I screenshot this? This is good, y'all. This is really good because, you know, we're exploring. We're trying to say, what if we did a butterfly? Because I don't really remember how they did the butterfly. So let's do this. Let's just take a picture of this. Now, so we can look at it when we need to. See if we can construct a butterfly and see what it looks like. All right, so we go back to the trade page. And I said, if we set it up at about the 40.10 with our longs. Now, I do know that they did this as a 484. So we buy that one. We're going to buy 4 of those, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Then we said sell the 3,700. Let's see what this looks like. 3,700. Hold your control key down. Do that. And then we would make that selling 8. And we were going to experiment with the 34.30. 34.30. Let's just say we'll buy that. Hold your control key down, buy, and we would change that to 4 contracts and bring that to 8. So 484, right? So this is a debit of 1,550, right? Which is a lot more than the other. But let's do this. Let's just move this over to the Analyze tab. So let's analyze the trade. Wow. All right. So why don't we, you and I, take out the condor and just look at our butterfly. So here's our butterfly, right? So now this butterfly has negative 96. It's got positive theta, and this one has positive vega, but we're paying too much of a debit for it. That upper expiration line, look, is negative $355. And we wanted to be that, to be more negative. So what do you do? So let's just think about it. If we want to pay less, because we've got a bigger debit than what we had here, this is 350, 775. What do you do? Well, we could move this out farther, right? Because think about it. If the one, this is, Matt, this is the part of the video that you missed, but let's talk about reading a risk graph here. All right, so here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go, and then all of a sudden this goes up. What does this mean? What happened right here? If you see a risk graph go from flat to up, this means we bought an option here. So that's a positive option. Okay, so that sends the direction of the curve up, 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 right? But then you see the risk graph go downward. What does this mean? This means that we sold options. So this is where our short option is. So this will go down, 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 down into infinity until we do something else. So what do we do here? We bought options. So what was going down now has gone flat or upward from its present trajectory. So this shows that we have now bought options. So you've bought options here, sold options here, bought options here. So if you want this thing to be cheaper, let's think about it. Then you could pay less for this option where we bought it. Well, we know that the closer you get to the money, the more expensive that option is going to be. So if we want this to now be a cheaper butterfly, instead of paying $17.75, what do? Well, you move these loans out here. So let's try that. Let's move it farther from the money. So let's see, where is that one? 4,010, 3430. So instead of 3430, let's move it farther away where these options will be cheaper. Remember, we're going to be buying those options. So what happens if you move it to the 3310? Let me unlock it. Goes down to 750. That's more like it. And we see now that if price goes up, 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 our maximum loss is $220. Can we do better? Well, of course we can. How do you do it? Well, I mean, a couple things. Now, another thing is you could also collect more on these shorts, right? So what we're selling is we could actually move these inward so that you collect a bigger credit. I hope everybody sees that. Once you start seeing this, you can play and create any kind of structure that you want to. Or you could move these loans further out in time, right? But we kind of wanted it being, at the edge of this little, one standard deviation move. So we think we've got those right. I think we've got these right. I still think we need to work on these and make those cheaper. How do you make them cheaper? You move them out a little bit. So we go to the 3250. You're doing better, right? So let's see what the Greeks are on that one. Negative delta, positive theta, a little bit of negative vega. All right, so let's move them out a little bit more so we can just kind of have that as a, where did it go? 3250. What happens if we move it to the 3200? Look at that. So that turns it into a $6 debit, 484. What is the other one? Wow, look how these things move, right? You got so many legs, it's moving all over the place. But we kind of thought we could do that maybe for $1 debit. So let's move this out a little bit farther and just compare the two. 3150. Getting better, isn't it? But what does that do? And it's kind of taking our little profit. Well, it's not really. That's still $6,000 up, isn't it? If we hit that, 6,064. Let's move it out a little bit farther. 3,100 maybe. So there's a $1.75 credit. So now let's just kind of compare the two. I may even go 30, 29, 50. See what that looks like. That's at a credit. Let's go back to $3,000 credit. Let's go 31, 30.50. Yeah, 75-cent debit or $2. It moves around, right? Let's just lock it. at a 50-cent debit, and this one at $1 debit. Now let's kind of compare the two. All right, y'all help me keep up with some stuff. So this trade, when we go up, we've got a little bit of short delta, we got positive theta, and we got negative 23 vega. What do we have in our other one? Well, we took a screenshot of it. Let's see our screenshot. Where are you, screenshot? All right, so this one gave us negative 0.02 delta, 0.89 theta, negative 7 vega. So let's compare it to what we got here. A little more theta, a little more negative vega. On this one, the max profit will be $6,072 if we hit in there, right? We see it going all the way down there, all the way here. Let's see. So let's look at the other one. Let's kind of undo this one. See what this one does. Now, the groovy part, right, is you don't have to, for max profit here, and generally we're not going to hold those that long anyway. We're going to get out of these things, but we do want some type of little profit hump to develop that will give us some downside protection in case the market starts going down. But here we see max profit is much wider area of 1,045. Now here's the big difference in them is the commissions, right? Let's see how much 10, 7, 10. If we right click on that, we confirm and send. We see you got 42 and 7 is, you got over $50 in commissions. So you can clearly see why the group went to now that does give you a wider, area there, right? Instead of the little tent of take that off. Let's bring up our butterfly again. And let's just say we're going to make that a $1 debit, just like the other one, so we can kind of compare them apples to apples. Let's pretend it was $1, okay? So now let's see how much the commissions are on that. Confirm and send. Look at there, we cut the commissions in half, didn't we? $23 instead of the $50. So it does, it makes a lot of sense why you would go to a butterfly rather than a condor. You can do both, but I think, Matt, if I were doing this in, in the micros, especially, man, those commissions just compared to, what you're doing are just so much. I probably would go to a 484, and it gives you, so you can put this one on for $43. 20 plus 20 plus 2, and here, look at there. Even though you're not in the max area there, if we were to hold it and you got there, you got 1,600 there, right? 1,500 there, 1,100 there, and you get a maximum profit of, 6,000 there. You still get nice all the way through there if that hump. So let's see how our hump happens. It's always fun. Watch the T0 line. That means as of today. And let's see what happens to this over time, because you want to see it bump up to give you a little bit of cushion. So let's see if our little hump starts to grow. You should see it grow. All right, it's growing. See it? The monster is raising its little head. It's raising its little head. Look at this. See it get nice and big in there. So that, by October 7th, you've got this 150-something day trade on. What happens? I watched the T0 line right here. That happens as price goes down. Look at there. Look at there, y'all. You're up $400, $500, $600, $700, $800. Then you start going back down again. But isn't that cool how that trade works? Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want price to go all of a sudden. Oh, heck. You don't want that to go all at once. You don't want price to just move down so quick, because then you'll start experiencing these losses a little earlier. For example, go to today. So if price goes from here to here today, you're down $153. Still, that's not bad though in the micros, is it? On a product that, you know, theoretically you could have a $6,000 profit on. That is really, really good. Gives you a little bit of negative delta, positive theta. It's got negative vega, but what's your positive vega trade? Your positive vega trade then is behind this, where you start going, you know, we got our black swan hedge that's going to lift up in the event of a sudden, you know, crash back here. So we're not really worried about $6,820 loss down here, maximum loss. You know, you start seeing stuff like that and you go, oh my gosh, I'm scared to death. How much buying power did this use? It should have used 0 too, right? Let's see. Yep. Buying power effect is 0 as well. So, you know, multiple ways to skin the cat, all different ways you can do this. You can move this in closer. You could, you know, but I kind of like the way we've got it constructed there at the end of the one standard deviation. See that gray area there? Shaded area. We got it about at the one standard deviation where that starts picking up. We put that at the center where our condor was, right? So we're about the same place as the condor was, right there. Let's see. I say we're, yep, about there where we were on the condor. And then let's see, down here we were the 3,400, where you started experiencing the max loss. Now, you know, key thing here, max loss on this one is 1,455. So that's a big difference, isn't it? But what we've got is we've got something, you know, got 6,820, but look what you're at, where you're at. I mean, you're at 2,900, you're at 3,000. Is the market going to go from 4,300 to 3,000? Well, I guess it could. But what do we have if it does? We got black swan hedges down here. And now I've got a number of black swan hedges. So am I scared by having this thing on? No, not at all. So pick your poison, baby. Pick your poison. You could do either one. So it shows you two ways of doing the space trip trade. Very cool. But I do like that it, you know, cuts the commissions in half on that thing. You know, whatever you want to do. Either one of them is perfectly fine. Now, go to my spreadsheet today. This is kind of cool, right? I was reading the Lacello book again last night. I'm just reading through it, and it really is a great wisdom. And this is much easier than the BAME. BAME has Bobby doing all kind of crap, right? I'm going in here and I'm, you know, big green monsters and moving averages and blah, blah, blah. The laissez-faire way, hands-off way of doing this is just let AIM run, baby. AIM. You just log into this thing. And if you don't have AIM set up, you probably want me to go in with you and do it. Maybe not. I mean, this is pretty simple to do. You know, you start putting your trades in and it keeps up with it. And then you just keep waiting for it to say take action. Remember yesterday, we had 3 actionable items, didn't we? It told us to do something, do something, do something. What's it saying today? Nothing. It's saying you're fine, baby. You are fine. So what AIM is doing is when an underlying goes down, AIM is saying, hey, baby, it's cheap. Let's buy. And when something's going up, AIM is saying sell. Take the profits, book the register, you know, ring the register, take the money. So it's really, really cool. And another thing I like about AIM over BAME is you're not going to have wash sale issues. Well, what's a wash sale? That's where you take a loss on a position and get back in it within, you know, within a 30-day window. And the IRS thinks you're trying to run some type of scam or something. So to overcome the scam, you got to do one or two things. You've got to elect market accounting in your account, which I do in my account, so I don't have wash sale problems. Or you got to have tax trader status. And if you're making a change in your BAME every day, you're definitely going to have tax trader status, right? Because if you're doing it daily, then you're going to have this to where you're, you know, you could easily get, I believe, no accountant, but you could easily claim tax trader status to get past that. Because you are going to have wash sale issues if you're using this. Cool thing about AIM is you're only selling when something's up. So you're not having losses. You're buying things when they're cheap and you're selling things when they're high. Isn't that what you want to do? Hey, isn't that the master plan anyway? Buy low, sell high. And sometimes we sell high first and buy low, but the AIM system, kind of tells you what to do. So in our current portfolio, we've got 700 shares of stocks and ETFs along 12 different underlines. So I think I'm really, really well diversified. I'm running AIM in this. So when price of something gets way high enough, AIM will tell me when to take action, when to take profits. Right now, it's not saying take anything. And when something drops out of the sky, AIM is going to tell me to buy it. Where are we currently invested? Well, we've got a lot of UPRO, we've got a lot of the NASDAQ, and we've got mid caps. So we're doing really, 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 I'm excited about doing AIM in one account and BAIM in the other one, just to see how they perform together. Okay, good session. What did y'all type here? Let's see. What were those strikes on the STT butterfly? Hey, Ken. Ken, are you feeling better? Can you talk? If you can't talk, I understand. I just hope you're feeling better.
I'm okay. What it is, last Friday I went to another doctor,
Uh-huh.
and he did some stuff for my pain issues. And my pain went away so much that in the first 4 days after seeing him, I went from taking 40 milligrams of hydrocodone a day to I've taken 30 grams in 4 days. I mean, 30 milligrams in 4 days. It's a dramatic loss of the narcotics, and
Wow.
the pain is amazingly gone. The problem is my liver decided to detoxify a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So I feel like death warmed over and being drug over the crap. No, it's not withdrawal. It's your liver's dumping all the junk, and it's
Well, Ken, don't tell me what you don't want to share with us. But did he put you on something else that wasn't his, or what?
let me make these people go away. Well, I mean, your question was, what's the matter with me? Is that basically it?
No, not better. I mean, I'm glad that the doctor helped you. I'm just like that he's able to take you off of pain medicine. I mean, did he prescribe something different or?
Oh no, I went to I went to a naturopathic clinic. Now I've been for natural medicine almost all my life, but frankly, for so many years they're just armchair herbalists, and they just don't know crap. Well, I found somebody who actually knows what they're doing, and it's changed a lot of stuff. I mean, the pain is. I live in pain. It's my normal thing. I mean, they do the 10 scale at the hospital. It says I live at 7 on a good day.
Oh man. Okay.
And, but not. I'm good. I'm like 2 or 3 wise right now, but I'm just feeling the nausea of dumping all those pills I've been taking.
Gotcha. Well, that's awesome. I hope that that trajectory continues. That's awesome.
It's getting a little bit better. Each day there's less garbage to get out of my liver.
The funny thing is, my sister, she laughs at some of the things that I do. For example, she's a drug dealer, right? She went to Auburn, and I always joke with people. I said my sister's a drug dealer, so she's a pharmacist, and I always get a big kick out of that. I told Justice Clarence Thomas that she was a drug dealer, and then I told him she's a pharmacist. I got a huge laugh out of him. He loved that because he always makes Alabama jokes, Justice Thomas. So anyway, when I have back problems, I go to my chiropractor, and my sister's like, "Oh man, they're quacks," and "Oh man, they're this," and that's not really mess. Until what, Beth? until she had back problems. And then she went to the chiropractor and they made her feel better. And then, you know, now she's like, oh, okay, I should listen to you. And that's kind of like if you all ever have kidney stones or know someone that does, Beth, let's give them the thing that you need. You need a little herb called, what's it called, Beth? Chancopedra? Chancopedra. And be taking them like, you know, every day and see what it does to your kidney stone problem. So I'm a big believer in what you're talking about there, Ken. So, and our well wishes for you and your health. But let's get back to your question. Yeah. The butterfly that we kind of constructed was the 4010, 3700, 3050. Now, the cool thing is, do you have to do a 484? You don't have to do a 484, right? So you could make this into a 121 or a 242 or a 363. So you can do it as big as you want to. If you start getting down here and go, hey man, that's $6,000, you know, so change that. Let's do a 121, right? 121, 121. So then your maximum is 1,500, 15, look, 9, 7, you still got, you know, you up 300 there, you up 790 there. I mean, if you took it to expression, and then the max loss on this is only 1,700. And then if you were to route that, that's going to save you on commissions as well, right? So then you're going to pay, oh, look at this, $5 plus 1088. So you can put a 121 on as well to give you a little cushion on the back. So y'all don't, I mean, I want y'all leaving our time together as going, oh my gosh, I can construct any flipping trade that I want to accomplish anything that I need it to. And that's what you can do. So, you know, and then remember, all this is a put credit spread and a put debit spread, right? And you can then start doing these things where, you know, hey, it's a big down day. We'll put the credit spread on. Hey, it's a big up day. Then you can put the debit spread up. So you can start, you know, weaseling your way into these things, working the market, you know, when it's advantageous to put something on. Or you can just go in on any day and just start putting it on. Make this as big or as little as you want to. So it's kind of cool, right? Now Ken, if you came in late, we just marked that at $1. So now it's at 75 cents. So now it's at 50. You know, these things move really, really quickly. All right. Good job, y'all. So y'all have a good rest of your day. I think we're going to go to the Bethel. We're going to go or not? Everybody's getting ready. We're going to the Ruby Tuesday, baby. So I will see y'all tomorrow.
All right. Take care.